And if you are watching this on record, then you can always email me as well. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen because I have actually created a bit of a PowerPoint for tonight. So let me just share away on here. Great. So can you just confirm, guys, that you can see my screen? Let's have a look. Let's have a look, my chat box. You can see it. Perfect. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through these PowerPoints. Some of you may or may not know me, but my name is Alexis Fraser and I am the founder of House of Skincare Limited. So I've been in the aesthetic industry for about 9 years now, and throughout my career, I have been working in various different skin and laser clinics. So during my time, I have been really, really passionate about skincare because I actually did suffer hugely with acne when I was younger. And I really was having lots of treatment. I was going through different skincare lines. I was even, really just battling myself with wearing makeup all the time. I wouldn't even leave the house really without wearing makeup. And here I am on a Zoom webinar with nothing on. So it really was a bit of a turbulent time when I was going through that sort of, bit of a skincare blip for me. And it really led me onto my career today because I was stuck in a rut at college and I was doing things that I didn't really want to study. And I really just dove into the beauty industry initially. So I did 2 years of beauty school and then I landed myself a job in a skin and laser clinic. And at that time, I really, really just was learning and absorbing everything and anything that I needed to know. And I was there for my longest part of my career, really. And now it is the time for me to open my own place and to be able to offer you and empower you to make you more confident in your skin and really conquer your skin's challenges. So what I'm going to do is today, my first webinar is going to be my top tips for skin devices at home and why they're important in an at-home routine. Also, we're going to cover skin devices specifically for scarring, texture and tone, and also for lifting and contouring the skin. So let's move on. First things first, let's talk about skin preparation. So people in the chat box, if you would like to comment as to whether or not you are following a skincare routine at the moment, just type yes or no following in the chat box if you are following a skincare routine. And it doesn't matter whether you're just doing it in the morning, well, it kind of does, but we're not going to judge in this environment. So we've got a few yeses. Yeah, brilliant. That's great. So with regards to you following an at-home routine at home, you are going through that skin preparation phase. And what you're doing by preparing your skin is you're actually helping to prolong the results that you're getting from an in-clinic treatment when we were allowed to receive them. But you're also, if you haven't had the chance to have one, you're actually preparing your skin in the first place. And I almost give the analogy of going to the gym. So ordinarily you wouldn't go to the gym and you wouldn't start your full workout without a warm-up or stretching. It's exactly the same with the skin. I always say to people during consultation that it's all about the preparation phase that is actually more beneficial than the facial itself. Because if I had somebody straight in for a facial, I would actually be almost warming their skin up throughout the facial. And by somebody having all of the good cosmeceutical ingredients at home, I am then able to push the skin further in treatment. So my motto, as it says on the screen itself, is it comes down to the correct cosmeceutical ingredients being applied for the correct skin type. So people who are watching this, I don't know whether you are relating to this, but a lot of us go through times where we're chopping and changing our skincare routines. We're using anything and everything that we can get our hands on, friends recommending it, bloggers, celebrities online. We're all absorbing the marketing. And I don't know whether you guys have felt that, but we are absorbing marketing on a daily basis. And it's a case of knowing what the right ingredients are. So whenever I'm talking about ingredients, I always talk about the ingredients themselves as opposed to the brand that they're derived from. Yes, all brands have different, skin types, they have different skin conditions, but it's about the delivery system as to where those ingredients are going. So this is the actual PowerPoint that it was leading on to. So when I'm talking about ingredients, I'm talking about the argument of cosmeceutical versus cosmetic. So cosmeceutical ingredients, they are a standard of ingredient that are derived from pharmaceutical backgrounds and medical grade backgrounds, versus a cosmetic that you can pick and choose online. You can walk into Boots, you can walk into Superdrug, and you can pick up these products off of the shelf. And ultimately, it's you guys making the decision as to what products are going to be right for your skin. Whereas cosmeceutical, you can only get through a professional, and you can only get on a recommended basis. So it takes the hard work out for you guys. So I've just got a bit of a pros and cons of cosmeceutical versus cosmetic. So if we go to the cosmeceutical standard, first point here, it compromises of cosmetic and pharmaceuticals to create an elite product. And then it targets every aspect of the epidermis, which again can only be sold in reputable clinics, not on the high street or online. So let's go back to the point of it's targeting every aspect of the epidermis. So when we're targeting every aspect of the epidermis, what this means is we are targeting all of those layers that are on the top layer of our skin. Whereas a cosmetic, generally speaking, only targets that first layer of the top of our skin. And that first layer is actually dead skin cells. And that dead skin layer can get thicker and thicker dependent on how well you're actually exfoliating the skin. So if you are someone that doesn't really grab the exfoliator too regularly, once in a blue moon, or just doesn't really have a solid morning and evening routine, that top layer of your skin is just getting thicker and thicker. And what then happens is your skin's complexion starts to get dull and sluggish and lackluster. And it's almost when you look in the mirror and you just think, I have aged, or I look really tired. Does anybody feel like that at the moment? You can write in the chat box. But I know that this time of year, particularly winter, your skin becomes sluggish and it becomes tired naturally because our skin complexion seems a lot paler in winter, and we almost need to build our skin's comforting, and we need to be hydrating the skin more and just really nourishing it, as opposed to in the summer months when we're looking at more lightweight products. So I know that somebody's just written in the chat box. If I can just see. Yeah, exactly. So you're agreeing that you are feeling a little bit tired and lackluster. And it's just a case of, again, finding the right ingredients for you. So the cosmeceutical version, as you can see on this PowerPoint, it goes through paid clinical trials and testing to deliver incredible results. So on adverts on the TV, you will notice that with most skincare lines, they'll have a really glamorous looking model or blogger, really just condoning the products and the ingredients. And you'll notice that they'll have these buzzwords like hyaluronic acid or coenzyme Q10. And these are ingredients that can be found in any product, but it's about the delivery system as to how effective your results are. And as I was saying, with a cosmetic, even though they have a delivery system of those ingredients, it's more often than not just in that top layer of dead skin. So if you aren't exfoliating, all it's doing is sitting on top of dead skin. So exfoliate. That is one of my points to take away from this webinar today. And then cosmetic, let's go over to this side. You can generally purchase it on the high street, online, without recommendation, although it might have been recommended by a friend who's had great results from it, or something that you've seen online in an advert, etc. It doesn't treat past the top layer, and cosmetic brands are usually endorsed by bloggers and celebrities without the clinical trials and tests that the cosmeceuticals pay for. So does anybody have any questions so far with the cosmeceutical versus cosmetic argument, or anything about skin preparation? Don't worry if not, I will move on. But please keep typing and I will come back to you if you do. So moving on. So the reason why we are here tonight is to talk about skin tools and devices. Now, we are currently in lockdown 2.0 and my clinic doors are shut and I'm not able to offer the in-clinic experience that some of you are used to seeing. Now, this could be an obstacle for some people, but I want to bring the in-clinic experience to you at home. And there are ways that you can do this, one of which is having a solid skincare routine that is right for you. And the second point is to actually have tools and devices to really emphasize the efficacy of those products. So this slide is demonstrating a couple of different products that you may or may not have seen and you may be used to seeing. And I thought we'd just go over these questions. And like I said, if you have any questions yourself, please just type them in the chat box. So skin tools and devices, what purpose do they have? So with a skin tool and device, what's happening is it's only going to be as effective as the ingredients that you're putting on the skin. So if you're someone that has a device, you just use it as a standalone product once in a blue moon, or you've been with the brush cleanser, for example, that's just over here, you've been given a cleanser to use alongside that, it's not really going to be as effective as using something continually and with the right ingredients. So it all comes down to consistency. So the purpose that they have is to actually help absorb products a lot better. So you're actually getting greater absorption of your products. So meaning your results will be a lot quicker and they'll be a lot more effective and noticeable. Also, with the different types, the ones that you have, there is the argument of epidermal skin devices versus dermal. So in the chat box, can anybody name me a skin device that you know that you can use at home, or you may have used at home yourself? Type in the chat box if you have any ideas as to which ones. I've given you a couple of clues with my little photos, but let's have a look. Oh, so we've got three people that have said a derma roller. Well done. Yes. Anybody else? There was somebody typing. Might come back. So derma roller or a roller, absolutely. That is one of the particular devices that I'm actually going to talk to you about today. And as if by magic, I've got one here. So this particular device, there are loads on the market. I don't know whether you have seen any online. You can even buy them on Amazon, scarily. And there are a lot of videos that are actually just saying that you shouldn't be buying them online, which I totally agree with, because you can really cause some damage with these if you don't use them correctly. So with the derma roller itself, there are different needle depths, and the different needle depths represent the different skin types that we're treating, but it is about patience and consistency and starting with the lower needle size. So not everybody can use a derma roller, just to start off with. Somebody who is really sensitive and has a really compromised reactive skin type, I would more often than not really want to strengthen their skin first before even incorporating a device like a derma roller. And the reason for that is because it can actually aggravate the skin condition even more, because as I was saying, these devices penetrate a lot deeper into the skin. So we're then targeting where the deeper concern lies. So actually it can make it a lot worse. So with conditions such as active acne or rosacea, I would not use one of these devices. But for those of us who have got a solid skincare routine, are feeling like fine lines and wrinkles have been an issue, enlarged pores have been an issue, then the derma roller is a really, really good device to start enhancing the absorption of your products. And we'll come on to why a little bit later. But that was one of them. I know there was another suggestion in the box. So yes, skin tightening device. There is also a device at home that you can use. Again, as if by magic, I have one here that, again, I'm going to demonstrate why and how you can use this specific device. But mainly, this is for lifting, tightening, and contouring the face at a deeper level. It's actually the first FDA approved device, and I'll go into why that is so amazing a little bit later. And then there is somebody else that has said, a jade stone roller, do they actually do anything, or is it all hype? Great question. So this particular picture here, which is a picture of a jade stone roller, is actually more of a superficial device. So when I go back to the question of epidermal versus dermal, a jade roller is actually sitting more superficially. To me, it's not a load of rubbish, but it sits more superficial. So for those of you that actually really want to see results, it's going to brighten the skin. So if you were going out and you did a bit of a jade roller routine over the skin, it's going to ease puffiness. It's going to almost tighten the skin if you were using it quite vigorously. But to be honest, it's temporary. The results, you probably would get a glow to the skin initially, but then the next day it's going to go. So it's more a gimmick, really, if I'm completely honest. They're great, but they're not so great at the same time. We want results, and that's what I'm all about at House of Skincare. I want to give you results so that you have more healthier skin long term, and you don't just want to buy something that's going to be a bit of a letdown and is going to sit on your cabinet, because let's face it, our cupboards are getting rammed full of our lovely skincare at the moment, and we don't want to fill it up with stuff that you just don't need. So what I'm going to do now is just move on to my first at-home device, because when should you start using them? To me, it's more a case of me consulting individuals. So I will know when the skin is ready for a device. It's not necessarily something that I initially even talk about with my clients on a virtual consultation, because you don't want to introduce things too soon. You want to really strengthen that skin before you even think about putting on devices onto the skin, because it will just aggravate. It's not needed, and we want to create a journey for you as opposed to giving you everything all at once and then your skin kind of getting better, but it's almost been introduced all too soon. So remember, it is a journey, and don't be disappointed if I don't initially introduce one of these. So, Genuine Derma Roller. Most of you guess that these are the at-home devices. So, as I said, I am an official stockist of Genuine Derma Roller. So this is the first roller that was ever brought out onto the market. It contains microscopic needles that you can barely see to the naked eye. And this is to be used up to 3 times a week at night time only. And the benefits of using this are that it's actually going to help with a number of different concerns. So for me, because I'm a previous acne sufferer, I find that I do have a lot of shadowing where blemishes form and then they don't necessarily heal as quickly unless I have a device and unless I have a specific serum that I'm rollering in. So with my clients, I tend to team a derma roller with a retinol serum, because retinol serums generally 3 times a week is a perfect amount of time to use retinol. And retinol is one of those ingredients that is so powerful at speeding up cell turnover. And when we speed up something called cell turnover, what that means is we have our healthy new skin cells come to the surface a lot quicker. So that process usually in people can take 30 days. But as we age, that process slows down. By using a roller or a device, that is going to speed up how quickly our new healthy skin cells come to the surface. So our surface of our skin always looks useful. So, is the derma roller for everyone? I think we covered that previously. No, it's not for everyone, because if you do have active breakouts, we want to be avoiding using the roller over those areas. So I know some of us can't help having the odd breakout here and there, but it's about moving around the device so that it doesn't actually spread bacteria. Because once the roller is pricked into a spot and then you are rollering over your skin, it's just going to cause a whole world of pain, and we do not want that. So I have actually got a demonstration of me using the derma roller device on our next slide. So if you do have any questions throughout the video, please just comment in the chat box and I will answer them afterwards. So let's see. Hi guys, so I just wanted to introduce you to something quite exciting that I've been using for the past couple of weeks now. It's called the Derma Roller. Now there are a lot of rollers out there on the market, but this is the genuine Derma Roller. So the reason why it's different is because it can only be sold by a professional because of the needle depth. And why do we need to use a roller? So the reason why we need to use a roller is if you are concerned with acne scarring, general aging, uneven complexion, and that real sort of thick, leathery skin that just needs a bit of regenerating. And then that is when we introduce the roller. So I'm just going to demonstrate how to use it. So this will be adapted to everybody's individual regimes like I normally work. So it's an evening only regime. The reason why we do it is because we want to promote our skin cells to renew overnight, and that is the optimum time to do so. So I've cleansed my skin, and now what I'm going to do is, on my freshly cleansed skin, is use the roller. So what we need to remember is that we don't use any pressure whatsoever, because it's not about causing physical trauma to the skin. It's just simply stroking the top layer, so that what then happens is our skin is then naturally tricked into thinking that we've caused trauma to it. So then our skin is tricked into stimulating a healing response, which that healing response is caused by our blood and collagen and elastin levels to be reproduced. So let me just demonstrate on my forehead to begin with. So we're going to go backwards and forwards, and I'm holding it very lightly in my hand. I can feel the pricking sensation, but it's not uncomfortable, and it shouldn't be uncomfortable. You don't want to see any trauma occurring. Then I'm going to go up and down. You can see how gently I'm doing this, guys. And what you need to remember is, if you have any active breakouts, you need to be avoiding those areas. So this is not for active acne, because it will actually spread the bacteria, which we don't want. So that would be one area complete. I'm just going to demonstrate on the side of my skin. So we're not going too close to the eye area. Very gently, backwards and forwards. And remember, this is a home roller. So this is a clinical strength that you can use at home. I will then be offering in-clinic microneedling, which uses a deeper strength again. But if you're prepping by doing this at home, it's going to make your in-clinic professional treatments work a lot more effectively, because your skin is already used to the microneedling device. So pinking, as you can see, is very, very normal, but I've been doing it very gently. So I'm going to continue doing it over the rest of my skin. You can go down the neck as well. And what you then do is, provided that I have recommended you a serum, you would put your serum on immediately afterwards, which will tingle slightly, and it'll go in much, much deeper, and it'll go where the skin needs it most. So if you want more information, just send me a message and I'll be happy to help. So we've got to remember, we need to clean our roller after every single use. So we actually rinse this with hot water, which I have already done. And when it's still damp, what we then do is we have our roller cleaner, which is in a convenient spritz, and we simply, directly onto the roller itself, is spritz, spritz, spritz. That will then disinfect. Obviously, we're only using this on our own skin, it's not to be shared. But now that is now going to rest, it's going to destroy all bacteria, and then it's ready to use for next time. Right, so that was demonstrating how the roller device actually works. I know somebody has written, how do you clean the roller? So hopefully the end of that video did clear things up, because there is a handy, convenient roller cleaner that is literally a spritz. And as I demonstrated, you simply do that after every single use. And this is something that you would last 12 months. So for 12 months, you are getting your anti-aging, you're getting reduction in fine lines and wrinkles, you're getting reduction in scarring, but also if you're someone that suffers with pigmentation and sun damage just from being an outdoorsy person, this is actually going to help even and brighten the skin tone and always give your skin that radiant glow that I know absolutely everyone, I think, when I have a virtual consultation with people, say, I just want a glow. Well, this is like the glow at home. And I know I mentioned in that video that in-clinic microneedling is actually the professional version of this. So microneedling before the doors closed was by far my most popular treatment. And the difference with that, as opposed to using this at home, is the needle depth is a lot greater in clinic than this actual roller that you can use at home. But the roller at home is maintaining those results. So if you have any questions, as per, just pop them in the chat box. But if not, we will move on to quite an exciting at-home device. So as I said, this is the summary, and the price of which I haven't mentioned, is £66, which includes your roller for 12 months and your at-home cleaning solution. So I'm getting ahead of myself with these slides. So let's move to the next at-home device. Now, I know somebody mentioned lifting and tightening devices in the comment box. So does your skin have any of the above? What are people suffering with? Can you write it in the chat box for me? Are you suffering with any of the above? Fine lines and wrinkles, enlarged pores, acne scarring, or is it more lifting and tightening? I know a lot of people, again, because I'm doing the virtuals, people are going like this a lot on the camera. They want to just lift and tighten. So fine lines and wrinkles, pore size, would like to contour more, and enlarged pores and acne scarring. So pretty much all of the above was answered in the chat box there. So fear not. I have something for you, and I am going to do a live demonstration of it. So let's stop me getting ahead of my slides, because I know I can already feel myself doing that. Let's move on to the at-home radio frequency tightening device. So this device is from a product called Newer. So this has been endorsed by a couple of celebrities, it has, but this is the first FDA approved at-home radio frequency device. So not everything becomes FDA approved, and this is the first device on the market, because there is a lot of skin tightening devices and skin tightening and lifting claims at home. But this is developed by a brand called Endymed Medical. So this particular brand do in-clinic treatment devices as well, but they developed the at-home one actually at the beginning of the first lockdown. And they are a global leader of professional radio frequency devices. So within this video at the bottom, what this is demonstrating is the unique 3Deep technology. So the radio frequency device is actually controlling energy delivery systems 3 times deeper into your skin. And what that does is it creates heat on the skin. And that heat then stimulates the production of new collagen, which then can reinvigorate healthy skin activity and renewal. So that was quite a mouthful, wasn't it? So let me just get myself ready. I've got my headband ready so that you can see. So the Newer device, it's a really handy handheld device that you would use 3 times a week for the first 4 weeks. So there is a 30-day challenge with this. So I don't know if anybody is up for a challenge, but in 30 days, you can stimulate collagen and elastin within the skin to help lift, firm, and tighten. Best results are seen after 3 months later because the collagen and elastin continues to stimulate deeper into the skin. So what does it include? So it includes the device, which you do have to plug in. You then get your activator gel. So the activator gel is what's going to help the slip and glide of the device itself, but also it actually contains collagen inside this gel. So you're pushing in a collagen active gel. So is everybody up for seeing the demonstration? So we have the device and we have our gel. We simply put 1 line of gel onto this device. There are 3 areas that we can target. I won't demonstrate all because I do have an after shot of me on this slide that does show my half of face after 1 use. So you can treat the neck to actually just lift and tighten almost like this area here, so to give that almost facelift look. You also have the jawline area, which helps to lift and almost give that V shape on your jawline that people do pay to have injectables for that you actually don't need with this device. Then you also have the contoured area of the cheekbone and the corner of the eye. So this particular device, in total, when you are using it on the full face, you are basically having a mini treatment at home at 26 minutes. So it is timed for you. And the nice thing about this device is it also comes with a handy app on your phone. So when you have this device at home, you download the app, you enter the activation code, and it actually reminds you, because you schedule in your lifestyle when you can do it. So if you're somebody that wakes first thing in the morning and wants to do their at-home facial first thing in the morning, you can calculate every morning for the first 4 weeks, 3 days a week, when you're going to do it, and it will alert you as like a 15-minute reminder. So you do simply click this button. It starts off being blue, and then it will start to flash as it's warming up. So shall we do, I think we'll do the cheekbone today. So I'm going to press the button, and what you do is you start to work in circular motions on the cheekbone. And what starts to happen is the device starts to heat up. And when it heats up enough and you're at the controlled temperature that it recommends, the light will stop flashing and it will stay green. So you want to just keep working the device quite quickly so that it builds up heat. So you can see now that the light is turned green. So that means that I'm at the correct temperature. So you've just got to keep moving. It's a bit of a workout, but if you get lifted, contoured cheekbones, then I think, you know, a couple of minutes on each area is absolutely fine. So it will warn you when to stop and move on to the next area. So I'm going to multitask now and answer the chat box as we go. So pressure-wise, that's a great question actually. You want to be not too firm, but at the same time, you want to be lifting in that direction. So quite a medium pressure, just as long as you get the green light flashing on the device, it means you're at the right temperature. If it stays flashing blue, it means that you're not actually doing the motions strongly enough. So I just always recommend small circular motions build up the heat a lot quicker than if you're doing long, slow motions. You'll just be there forever. So you can tend to time your app at the same time that you're doing it. And then at the end, your app will have calculated what percentage of collagen you've actually stimulated in your cheeks and your face in general. Because the only way that you can stimulate collagen and elastin is through devices or ingesting it with a supplement. And by the time we reach the age of 60, we have got no collagen or hyaluronic acid left within our skin unless we have stimulated it through youth, also just stimulating it more frequently. So, you know, it's never too late for anyone, because I always get that, oh, I'm too old, I don't, you know, I didn't really look after my skin. And it's never too late, because this can stimulate and turn back the clock just from using this device. And it really is quite significant, the difference that it makes. It's just about consistency, which is like my key word of this webinar this evening, but it is all about keeping it consistent, and you will really reap the rewards. But if I just click on to the next slide, it will show you my before and after. So if you look on the right-hand side there of my face, I did all 3 areas, and that was just one use. So I did the neck, so I got underneath. If anybody suffers with any sort of lax skin under the chin, you can really work underneath the chin and up towards the ear. You then have the jawline and the cheekbone and corners of the eyes, which I am demonstrating now. So within 4 weeks, you get a reduction of fine lines and wrinkles. Skin appears firmer and smoother. Instantly, once you've done this, if you start sort of pinching your skin on the side that you haven't done compared to the side that you have done, you will actually feel like it's a bit firmer. So that's just timed out for me, and it's just telling me that I have finished one area and I can move on to the others. So I probably will, after this, still be evening out the skin tone. So does anybody have any questions on that device? It really is for all ages. So obviously, if you're suffering with more lax skin, you're going to really notice that difference. If you're wanting it for more of a contoured effect, it's really down to how frequently you use these devices. But again, this device I actually use in clinic treatments as well. So if clients come to me and they say, I really just feel like my skin is just going south and I just want more of a more youthful, more radiant look to my skin, then I will actually incorporate the newer device into your in-clinic treatment. So in-clinic treatments don't have to be scary. They don't have to be where you look, you know, red afterwards and you walk out of the clinic feeling a little bit tired. You can actually go straight out afterwards, because this will really give an instant lift and glow. So next time that any of you are participating in an in-clinic treatment, just ask to have the newer device included, ask to have it trialed on you, because then you can really notice that instant lift next time. But I just love that you can actually use this at home as well. Can you put makeup on? Yes, that's a good question. Yeah, you can absolutely put makeup on after the treatment. I'd recommend that obviously you double cleanse your skin prior to this treatment, and then you would do all 6 areas, remove and apply your serum and moisturizer, and you'll instantly feel tighter. So Lucy said, is it similar to the effects you could achieve with injectable fillers to the jawline and cheekbones? Great question. It is very similar. So it really depends on whether clients are wanting more of something that's going to happen straight away, because obviously with an injectable, it takes 2 weeks to sort of settle into the skin. But again, with fillers, etc., you have to have those topped up every 6 months. So you would pay to have that look for 6 months, and then you would have it topped up. Whereas the newer device, it would take longer to get those results. 3 months is the optimum time that you're seeing the results. But then, provided after you've done that 4-week initial 30-day challenge for 3 days a week, you then only have to do it once or twice a week as a maintenance after that. So it depends on your situation, how conscious people are of their skin. And yes, absolutely, jawline filler can absolutely get that contoured, chiseled look. But some people are against injectables, so this is almost the non-injectable alternative. So hopefully that answers your question, which was a great one. And if people are having injectables, sort of like another spin on it is that this will actually make them last longer. So as I just said, a filler would last 6 months, if not maybe a little bit longer, dependent on skincare, because skincare plays a massive part as to how long injectables last for. This will actually, if used in between your injectable appointments, would make those injectables last more like 9 months. So there are 2 different spins on that question, which was great. So this particular product is £299. It has £50 off currently with my unique checkout code. And this is something that the only thing that you would need to replace throughout is the actual activator gel. The activator gel itself will last a good 12 weeks because you're only using one line on the device. But it's just about how frequently you're going to use it, making sure that you download the app, and just keeping consistent. So, does anybody else have any questions? No? Type them away if so. But in summary for tonight's webinar, this is, I think I've got somebody. How much is the gel? That's a great question, actually. I will get back to you on that one, Lucy, because I don't have that off the top of my head. I will get back to you. I think it's something like £35 for the gel, but the gel comes with the kit. So that £299 was the kit and the gel. So it's your full starter kit. So it's all total with the gel and the device, £299. And then obviously online you just buy, I think it's £35, but I will definitely get you an answer for that. So in summary for tonight's webinar, I always say to people, start with a virtual consultation. It really maximizes how you're feeling about your current routine. It might be a case of you have got some really good ingredients in there. We just need to switch up a couple of your products to really make it work more effectively for you. Or it may be somebody that's coming to the end of their whole routine and you just want a fresh start and you just want to know exactly from another person's perspective and a professional eye exactly what ingredients are going to be the right ones for you. Once your routine is settled into your skin, that is the best time to introduce skin tools and devices to enhance those results even further. Keep consistent. Always ask me if you have underlying questions, because I am the one that really is fighting for you to get those results. I know what it's like to wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, count how many spots are on my skin, feel really unconfident in myself, you know, not even leave the house without makeup on. So I really want you to feel more confident in your own skin and to be able to feel like makeup's a choice rather than a necessity. And, you know, just make you feel like you can really be proud of your skin, because there are a lot of different brands out there, a lot of different claims, and it's just about having the right routine for you. And remember my little saying, it's the combination of the correct cosmeceutical ingredients mixed with consistency that will gain you those results that you desire. So if that is everything, does anybody have any questions before we finish tonight's webinar? Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. This will be available as a recording, so if you would like to watch it back, then it will be available for you as well. If you have any questions on tonight, then please just feel free to email me afterwards. Really pleased that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for your comments. And I will be back next week. So next Thursday, we have another private webinar with a Jane Ardell masterclass. So Jane Ardell is the mineral makeup brand, and it is known as the skincare makeup. So I will be live again next Thursday, 7 p.m. for Jane Ardell mineral makeup. So get thinking about what looks you'd like to create, and if you want me to cover anything in particular with regards to makeup, then please message me, because I'd love to do something that you'd like to see, whether it's concealer, smoky eye look, or covering bases like a no makeup look. Just let me know via email and I will be happy to deliver. So thank you so much to everyone that joined in tonight, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you again next week. Take care, everyone.